Yeah, I'm gonna probably put it there. Mm. How's everybody doing out there? Um, we going live. We are live, in fact. And if you are not up right now, it is quite all right. It is all right. It is all right. We gonna keep rolling until yeah, I'm gonna wait for a couple of the people to pop on. But I know it's late. We gonna roll. We gonna roll with it. I appreciate y'all for being here with me. What up, Sierra? Um, I gotta write that song too. I've been out of it. Haven't pressed record for the podcast yet. Just trying to get a feel of this, just to fill y'all in on what I'm about to do. Um, so I do a weekly podcast. It hasn't been weekly recently, but trying to get better again at being consistent and all of that type of stuff. So I figured for my 20th episode that it would be apropos to do something out of the ordinary, Marquita, how's it going? And so if you're not privy to listening to this podcast every week, come on, what up, man? Come on, Tyson. Bro, Kamal used to cut my hair in college, man, and so I'm about to talk about some barbershop stuff. I was, but it's dope that he's on and that he's listening right now. But yeah. So if you don't know about my podcast, the podcast is called "The Adventures of Duce Banner and His Unpopular Opinion." I'm just sounding off about a whole lot of stuff that that I want to talk about, that I have some sort of commentary about. So it is what it is, and I'm going to press record now and not worry about who's listening and all of that, and just do what I do. So thank y'all for tuning in. Here we go. Hey, what's going on, everybody? You are listening to the Adventures of Duce Banner and His Unpopular Opinion. It's been like, whereas last week was like a slow news week, this week has been it's been moderate. I'm not gonna say it's been crazy, but it's been a moderate news week, and got a lot to talk about. Um, whereas the title of this show is The Adventures of Duce Banner, I've got an adventure for you today. They're not always like the quintessential adventure, but today I had somewhat of an adventure. I had one in my head, and my friend Devin helped me work that whole thing out. So, just to give you some context, my barber is convenient, and wait, let me back up. For those of you who don't know, I'm doing a live podcast right now via 10 years you still look the same. Tom Marks. What up? What up, man? How you doing? I appreciate that, man. You might look the same too, Tom. But what up, man? I hope you're gonna be at the reunion. But what was I saying? Ooh, I have really bad ADD, and I don't know if doing this live podcast thing was a good idea. But it is what it is, and we're gonna roll with it. So for those of you who don't know, I'm doing a live podcast via Facebook, and we're going to try it out. We're going to see what it is. It's my 20th episode. I feel like that's a milestone. I feel like that's like a pinnacle moment in this podcast. I feel like it's a pillar moment, if you will. So we doing a podcast. Who gave me hearts? It's only dudes on here right now. Who gave me a heart? But here we go. So I'm trying to get my hair cut, man. It's been a while since I got a haircut, and I don't have any hair, so I cut it all off, and so I needed one really bad, and so my barber, he does this. He's close, and he's on Facebook too, so he might hear this. I ain't talking about you, man. I got all the love. I got all the love in the world for you, man. But today I'm just saying what went on in my head today and the text messages that I received. So he lives like he works 10 minutes away from where I work. So he's real convenient. He's a nice guy. I know him via a mutual friend who introduced me to him, and so I just been going to him ever since because he seems like a good guy. And so, and you can't really mess up a baldy, you know what I mean? Like, just cut it all off. But he does a thing with that my man Kamal Tyson used to like put the hot towel on your face and all of that, gave you the 5-star treatment. So that's what part of what keeps you coming back. But but he does this thing where he wants you to call him before you come in. Now, guys understand. Like, you understand. Hey, Shadon, how you doing? Is that a kissy face? Shadon gave me a kissy face. I appreciate it. I'm not a dad, Shadon. I'm not a dad. That's an insider. But, yeah. So, he does this thing where he wants you to call him before you come. And I don't always have that luxury. Like, guys understand this. Like, if you go to a barbershop, sometimes you just like being in the atmosphere of a barbershop. Sometimes you like to sit in on the barbershop and have barbershop conversation. You don't always want to call, And I'm not a caller anyway. I'm not calling you for a haircut. Sometimes I just pop up and he doesn't. He's like, hey, man, you should have called me. But there's never a time when I can't get a haircut. There might have been one time where he couldn't fit me in the time that I came and all of that. And I don't care because it's in a complex, like a shopping complex and all of that type of stuff. So whenever you're ready for me, I'll just come back, But he likes when you call or you text him. I'm not a caller, so I'm texting you. So so I text him, like, so here's the rundown so you can know the difference in today. So usually I'll text him and I'll say, hey, man, can I come through around, say, 3 o'clock? And he'll be like, is 3:30 cool? And I'll be like, yeah or no. Hey, man, can I come in today? He was like, what time would you like to come? Okay, say around 12. I want to be there at 12. Oh, I could fit you in at 11:30 or something like that. If it's cool, it's cool. If it's not, it's not. But today was different. And someone told me the other day that I overanalyze. And I had somewhat of an issue with that because I know that I think a lot, but usually when I think and I think things through, I'm usually correct in my assumptions and in my analysis. Congratulations, this is your most watched live video yet. Okay, well, this is like really my first video, so thank you, Facebook. And thank you for everybody who gave me that accolade. But appreciate y'all for tuning in. Oh, yeah, if you haven't, please subscribe to this podcast on iTunes or wherever you can hear podcasts. Is the Adventures of Duce Banner and His Unpopular Opinion. I will not be doing these live. That's probably Gina. Shout out to Gina for all those things. But yeah, I'm sidetracked and I have severe ADD. But it's okay. Back to what I was saying. So usually it's this thing like where he's just like, yeah, just around this time, just come through. But today was different, and I know that I analyze, but I don't necessarily believe in over analyzing, And also, when I analyze things, I break things down and I get to, well, that's an analysis. I get to the root of things. And shout out to Marquita. Thank you, Marquita. Hey, Amanda. And so, yeah, this is not good for my ADD. I gotta remember what I said and be interactive with people. I don't know how often I'm gonna be doing this, guys. But I thank you guys for tuning in. As I get back to my story, this is gonna be horrible over the podcast, but we're gonna push through. So he So today it was very different. It was very different from the status quo. Um, I posted it on Facebook and on Instagram, so you can see the thread. You can see the discussion that we had, and it really threw me for a loop. I did not know how to respond. Kevin, what up? Kevin is my is the lead anchor on our show, on our radio show on ThirstySoulRadio.com called The Barbershop. So check that out when y'all get a chance. Y'all be out here, y'all. I gotta get this story over with. I am so sorry. I can't respond to y'all right now. If I'm gonna be doing a successful show, I'll get to y'all in a minute. Appreciate y'all for joining. And whoever else joins in later on, I appreciate it. Yeah, so I'm like, yo, can I come through today? I'm like, I'm trying to come right now. I said, hey Mark, how can I come in? Can I come through today? Is it a good time to come through or something like that? He goes, and quote, he says, what do you want? Or what did he say? He said, what you want? Question mark, question mark, question mark. Okay. And I paused. Because there's never anything that I've ever asked of you outside of a haircut. I might have asked you for some change back. I remember asking you for some change back a couple weeks ago. Give me my change. You're not getting this whole 40. Let me get some money back. I've never asked you for anything outside of a haircut or maybe a different haircut. So I thought for a moment, I said, okay, well maybe he means like, what kind of haircut do you want? A la Rashawn, who's a barber. She was telling me maybe that's what he meant. But I thought that in that moment. But I'm like, there's only one style a person with no hair can get. Well, there's multiple styles that they coming out with now. But I'm not that guy. Cut me. You know what I mean? Like, cut it. So he's like, what do you want? And I'm like, I text him, and I thought, like, I'm like, okay, well, maybe that's it. But no, what threw me off was the 3 question marks. So immediately when I read it, I mistook them, or maybe I took them how I felt like I should have taken them, as exclamation marks. Like, those 3 question marks added up to 1 exclamation mark for me. You're not just going... First of all, I don't think that's something that guys really do. Like, where it's like, okay, well, I'm a, like, whereas guys don't really put a whole bunch of question marks unless they, you know what I mean? Like, when guys text, it's very intentional. So any woman that's listening right now, it's very intentional. When guys text, they don't, like, so I know a lot of girls, they'll put, like, the ellipses after something that they've said, and my friend, I'm like, yo, why do you do that? Like, she's like, I don't know, that's just how I talk. I'm like, you're putting ellipses where periods should go. And with women, they think in nothing, they never do anything just because. You know what I mean? So, like, I'm reading into it with my analytical self. Like, okay, if you're putting ellipses, there's something else that you're leaving out. You know what I mean? So guys, they're very intentional. For the most part, they're very straightforward. So I'm like, what are these question marks for? Now I'm upset. And it doesn't take much for me to get upset. I'm from Jersey. That's just how it is. You know what I mean? Don't disrespect. Like, we don't play any games. So I'm reading it. He might have said it as, what do you want? I read it as, what you want? Like, I'm tired of you asking me for free haircuts. I've never asked this man for a free haircut in my life. So I've never asked you for a free haircut in my life. So I'm wondering where the hostility is coming from. Like, he said, what do you want? Like, I'll be asking him for money. I'm like, and that's how I took it. So I responded, I'm trying this new thing of being even more rational in my thinking and not being so quick to bark back at people when I feel like I'm being compromised in some type of way. So I say, I I said the only logical thing that I could think of without being smart, but I also kind of wanted him to know I'm no punk either, you know what I mean? But I'm like, I'm letting you know in the most subtle way, I'm no punk, you know? So I said, a haircut. I want a haircut. I just text back a haircut. He takes me back, oh, my bad. I meant to say what time. Now, 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 I understand when you, like, your phone will autocorrect for you sometimes. And it'll say some things that that you may not want said. And, you know, so I get you possibly typing the wrong thing. What I don't get is you seeing that the wrong thing was there and you proceeding to say what it is that you said. There were not one, not two, but 3 question marks in there. There were 3 question marks in there. You knew, as my friend Devin would say, as my friend Devin said, you had 3 chances to reconsider what you were saying with every question mark you put. So it made me laugh, like, oh my goodness, you really think I'm falling for, like, what do you mean? What do I want? I immediately thought, like, okay, he must have there must be another Keith walking around here that be asking this man for free haircuts. Cause I'm not that person. You got the wrong one. I've never asked you for anything other than how much is this? You know what I'm saying? So that was just, and it made me realize something about myself. Number 1, that I'm growing. Number 2, that I had something to grow from. And I'm trying to find a third one because that's just what you do when you make points. You try to make 3 points. But those are just the 2 things that I'm going to roll with. So now that that's off my chest, wanted to talk about that. Felt like that would have been more entertaining, but I don't know. I was distracted. It is what it is. I'm not a stand-up comedian. We're just talking about my adventures in my life. But on to other news. My favorite rapper found himself in the news yet again. On another man's radio station talking about Drake another time. I don't understand. I don't understand why he keeps finding himself in these predicaments. I found myself, so we're talking about Joe Budden here, and I'm going to give background, but I found myself becoming less of a fan with every bad thing that he does, or everything that I feel is like derogatory towards his brand, or isn't representative in the best light of him as a rapper. I'm like, yo, bro, if you just rapped and you let all the other nonsense go, I would like you that much. I would prefer Joe Budden not be in the news. I would prefer Joe Budden not be a meme. Somebody said the other day, like, well, at least we're talking about him. I don't want you talking about him if it's like that. He's an incredible rapper. That's what I want him to be known as. So whenever someone asks me who my favorite rapper is, I can say Joe Budden and not get laughed at. And then I not have to say, wait, you got to hear this song, you got to hear that song, you got to hear this. And they say, oh, pump it up. I wish that you know what I mean? But that's what comes with the territory.